So it should apply to the Vice President. Unfortunately, there are serious charges labeled against her.
Now, ang question po is, nakita po ninyo na yun nga po yung sa witnesses na parang ang gusto lang ay sirain yung credibility ng mga witnesses na ipipresent ng prosecution. Kayo po ba'y umaasa na somehow pagdating ng trial ipapakilala or i-explain ng company VP yung mga nasa acknowledgement receipts, like for example si Mary Grace Piatos po?
Well, una, babalikan nga natin yung kanilang pre-trial brief, no? Kaya sinasabi natin it's less in substance, it's voluminous, medyo makapal, pero kung titingnan mo, wala talaga siyang substantive na controverting evidence. It's purely general denial, and basically ang nakasasaad doon sa kanilang pre-trial brief ay pagko-question mismo nung proseso, which basically it's what the narrative of the defense from the very start, no? Wala silang naipresa na substantive controversing evidence na explaining kung bakit itong allegation na to ay dito na kumbaga hindi siya tama, apart from denying it, but explaining. Una, ang tanong ng gusto ng malaman ng taong bayan, saan napunta yung pera pagdating sa pag-utilize ng confidential funds? Ano yung explanation doon sa mga hindi may paliwanag na pera at property sa kanyang salin, na hindi tugma doon sa kanyang income, at the same time, hindi nagre-reflect sa kanyang salin? Ano nga kanilang may paliwanag doon sa mga sinasabing nakatanggap ng mga pera or na sa mga bribery, no, doon sa mga aligasyon na itong mga officials na to, nung siya ay nakaupong secretary ng Department of Education, ay nakatanggap ng mga pera. So these are the questions that I think not only the court deserves to know an explanation, but even the general public. So wala doon hindi doon naka-narrate. It's more on pure denial or general denial, and even questioning the process, which in this case parang hindi na siya kumbaga hindi na siya right way of attacking the evidence of the prosecution, because it has already been resolved. The court has already convened as an impeachment court. I mean, the Senate has already convened as an impeachment court. Maganda sana kung meron silang maipapresenta na mga witnesses na magpapatunay kumbaga na sila si Cocoy Villamin, sila si Mary Grace Piatos. Pero yun nga gusto nating malaman, kung meron silang pwedeng mai-produce na mga witnesses na sasabihin sila mismo yung pumirma doon. Pero remember, kung babalikan po natin yung naging investigation ng Good Government nung nakaraang kongreso, halimbawa si Cocoy Villamin ay pumirma ng 2 acknowledgement receipts sa magkaibang lugar, pareho yung kanilang pangalan, pero hindi tugma yung kanilang pirma. So these are supposedly the questions that the public and the Senate sitting on the impeachment court deserve clarification. Wala doon, hindi natin nakita sa kanilang pre-trial brief.
Kung maaari lang po magdagdag din doon. The pre-trial brief sets the tone on how the defense will structure its answers. So kung tunog lata na ang pre-trial brief, what more can we expect during the trial proper? No. Tama nga po yung nakalagay na it's just mere denials, at ang basis for the summoning of witnesses or even presenting documentary evidence is a general to rebut the allegations in the articles of impeachment. Wala pong pagdedetalye kung bakit po ini-introduce yung evidence na to, kung bakit ini-introduce yung witness na to. Kung ako po, possibly judge or even law school professor, i-check ko yan, i-correct ko yung ganong klaseng format. So sa atin, this is clearly hindi na naman pagseseryoso sa proseso. Kasi kung sineseryoso yung proseso, dapat binibigay na yung mga sagot na matagal lang hinihingi ng taong bayan. Which is, sino nga ba si Mary Grace Piatos? How do you provide evidence to controvert or contradict yung certification ng PSA na sa records nila, walang Mary Grace Piatos? No other than ipakita nyo kung sino siya. Kung wala pong ganon na makita tayo sa pre-trial brief, baka hindi natin makita ito sa mismong trial proper. So, nonetheless, both parties reserve the right to submit further evidence as necessary. Pero, supposedly, nilatag na po yan lahat during the pre-trial briefs and the pre-trial conference. Wala tayong nakitang ganon. So, kailangan na pong maging mas mapagmatsyag at masiyasat yung taong bayan sa mga magiging sagot sa trial proper.
Just to clarify lang po, is the Vice President required to attend the pre-trial conference? Kung hindi man po, ano yung significance ng pagdalusanan niya doon personally sa pre-trial conference po?
Ayon sa rules, the party and or their authorized representative is required to attend the pre-trial conference. At meron pong certification or SPA na nilabas yung kanyang defense team that yung Fortuna Narvasa is authorized to appear on her behalf. That being said, the people are expecting VP Sara Duterte to show up in the pre-trial conference and even on the days that the trial proper will continue. Bakit po? Ito po'y dahil ilang taon na pong hindi nasasagot yung mga tanong ng taong bayan. And any further evasion is going to be another day, another week, another year of denial of justice. Ayaw na natin ng ganon.
Well, unang-una, it speaks about how serious she is in facing these allegations. The presence is important Although nandun naman sa Senate rules na hindi naman kinakailangan, But in the regular court proceedings, talagang kinakailangan yung respondent na umappear, Why? Because number one, it will be an historic impeachment trial. Nowhere in the Philippine history have we experienced na the second highest official in the land faces serious allegations, culpable violations of the Constitution, which constitute impeachable offense. If that is so serious to her, I believe it speaks about leadership and the character and the office that she represents. I think it would be proper and would be more attuned to the demand of the people that she appears in the pre-trial conference to display her seriousness and her attempt really to face the charges and also to show na wala siyang tinatago at wala siyang kinakatakutan. This is a direct opposite of what we have heard in the previous months, that she will appear in the proper forum, which now is the impeachment court, and she even intimated to the public that there will be bloodbath. So it's the exact opposite of what we are seeing right now. Para sa amin, para sa taong bayan, mas magiging tapat yung kanyang sinasabi na wala siyang kasalanan kung may pakita niya na siya mismo ang humarap sa impeachment court. In this case, in the pre-trial court.
Last na lang po, on my part, lilihis na ako ng topic. Nag-post po sa social media si Davao City Congressman Paulo Duterte. Nakatanggap daw po siya ng info from highly reliable source na maglalabas daw po ng arrest warrant against Senator Bongo. Ang binabanggit po niya parang ang dating ay wala na raw pong katapusan ang pag-atake doon sa mga kumukontra po sa administrasyon ni Pangulong Bongbong Marcos at ginagamit daw po ng administration ang lahat ng mga ahensya ng gobyerno against those personalities na kumukontra nga po sa gobyerno. Ano pong may reaction po ba kayo?
Number one, we cannot comment on something that we are not privy to. Secondly, we don't have any knowledge about the issuance, the issuance of a arrest warrant. But what I can tell you, no, is that the internal judicial ruling or proceedings of the ICC, insofar as the release of arrest warrants, is beyond the dictation of this government or any government for that matter. So wala pong kapangyarihan ang gobyernong ito o impluwensya ang gobyernong ito para diktahan ang International Criminal Court patungkol sa pagre-release ng arrest warrant kanino man.
Wala naman pong additional dagdag spiritually dahil na-cover na po ni Representative Zia Adyong. I'd just like to reiterate that these processes, the international human rights law, international humanitarian law, lahat po ng general principles of international law, hindi naman po ito sa Pilipinas lang inaasahan, no, sa buong mundo, sa lahat ng mga sangkatauhan para po maprotektahan tayo. Kung meron nga pong ganong violations, sila po ang mas mga makakataas na nagpoproseso po nito. So, these are beyond, no, yung simple control or influences of one government.
Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Haji. Next is Earl Tobias from IBC 13.
So, good afternoon po, spokespersons. Ma'am, first po kay spokesperson ko, ma'am, you said it seems that the VP defense team is making a mockery out of the pre-trial procedures. Bakit nyo po ito nasabi sa inyong text statement? Ano po ba ang gestures ng defense team towards the procedures habang papalapit yung trial?
Nakita natin sa pre-trial brief that yung supposed independent defenses na inasahan natin sa isang answer ay hindi po present. And yung evidence, yung witnesses na gustong i-present na dapat susuporta sa contravening evidence or evidence rebutting kung ano man yung allegations sa articles of impeachment, wala na naman po. Kung at every stage, questionin po ni VP Sara Duterte and her legal team yung authority and kapangyarihan ng mga iba't ibang ahensya to conduct investigations to valid questions of the people regarding her leadership, regarding her handling of public funds, and regarding the propriety of her occupying the office that she is in. Ano pong avenue meron tayo to hold to account our public officials? Kaya po mahalaga yung mga sagot. Kung wala pong sagot, edi ito'y pong inhustisya sa mamamayan.
Ma'am, follow up, asking straight lang po, anong tamang terms sa ginagawa nila? Minamaliit po ba or iniinsulto nila yung proseso?
For me, hindi nila sineseryoso ang proseso. Para seryosohin yung proseso, we are looking for, no, independent affirmative defenses. Ibig sabihin po, yung mga sagot na talaga pong nagre-respond sa mga tanong, sa mga aligasyon. Hindi yung simpleng sasabihin yung, hindi po yan totoo, pero hindi po magpo-provide ng counter answer kung bakit hindi yung totoo. No, ganun naman din po kahit anong usapin between two people. When you rebut something, may inaasahan kang totoong rebuttal and hindi yung blanket denial lang. Yun po yung gusto nating makita, not only during this pre-trial brief, pero during the trial proper as well.
Thank you, ma'am. For spokes
I think
Adyong.
dadagdag ko lang, no,
Sige.
Earl, no? Ito yung pagkakataon nila na sinasabi, madalas nilang sinasabi, even during the confirmation hearings ng Committee on Justice, na they will answer at the right proper forum. Ito na yun eh. So, lahat po ng taong bayan, inaantay sana kung anong magiging kasagutan nila eh. We are all excited to know, and from the defense, their explanations. Number one, what happened to the confidential funds? How were they able to utilize this? Which according to COA, na-flag nila as hindi, it's outside of the joint memorandum. There are, the way that the fund was utilized was beyond or violative of the joint circular. So what the public wants to hear from the defense, from the Vice President, is an explanation. But ano pa yung nakita natin? Wala. It's more on general denial, bordering to questioning the very process that the impeachment, the pre-trial impeachment conference is now doing, no? So, ito na sana yung pagkakataon nila eh. Why waste it, no? Why waste it? Dalawa lang ang sa akin, ang aking, ang aking observation that I can only derive for someone or some party who cannot even provide a explicit and direct to the point explanation to these allegations after more than a month, more than a year. Wala talaga silang may sagot. Or iniiwasan nilang sumagot. At the end of the day, sabi nga ni Kong Rene, if you don't give at least respect to the court by explaining to the court what really happened as you are supposed to do, then the explanation is either you are not serious or talagang feeling mo lang talaga you don't owe any people any explanation.
Thank you, sir. Kasi yun po sana yung susunod kong tanong. Nagtutugma po ba yung observation nyo na yun given na ang ultimate prayer lang din ng defense team ay ibasura ang kaso at hindi harapin sa trial mismo?
It speaks about how they think that they are way beyond the reach of the law. It also speaks about the kind of mindset that I'm sorry to say that the vice president feels na she is this is an act of someone who thinks that she's beyond reproach, no? Kaya nga sa parati natin sinasabi this impeachment proceeding is about accountability. It's about the accountability mechanism of the Constitution, that no one should be above the law. That if it is applied to any person or any impeachable officer, it should apply to the vice president. Unfortunately, there are serious charges labeled against her. So this is the perfect time for her defense to come up with a specific substantive contravening arguments and evidence to not only to deny the allegation but to explain to the court and to the people what happened to the confidential funds. Why is there why is the SALN not reflective based on her income, no? Kaya may unexplained wealth eh. These are the things that should be explained to the public. At the end of the day, ang gustong malaman ng publiko ay meron ba talagang pananagutan ang Vice Presidente? Kung wala naman, madali naman talagang mag-supply ng sagot dyan eh. Kung meron ka talagang sagot.
Dagdag lang din po doon sa specific question on the prayer for dismissal, no? Let me just reiterate na wala po yung basihan sa Constitution. Wala po sa hulog yung ganong prayer. Ito po ay dahil ang inaasahan natin under the Constitution na kapag meron na pong articles of impeachment endorsed to the Senate, magta-trial, no? Magkakaroon ng full-blown trial wherein the prosecution and the defense will present their evidence, no, will have the opportunity to cross-examine their witnesses, and sa dulo, pagtapos po ng lahat na yon, magdedesisyon yung Senado, no, kung whether conviction or acquittal. Wala po sa rules ang dismissal. So, muli, nire-reiterate natin kung seryoso si VP Sara Duterte and her legal defense team doon sa pagsagot sa mga tanong ng mamamayan, no, na dahil years na pinrolong yung pagsagot ay ganito na kalaki, kailangan pong sagutin niya ng maayos and in the proper forum that the Vice President has always sought and emphasized she will do, which is right now and syempre sa July 6 sa pagsisimula ng trial proper.
Thank you, Earl. May we hear now from Rose Cas of UNTV.
Good afternoon po, Kongs. May we know po kung ano-ano po yung mga point of contentions kanina sa pre-trial conference between the defense and the prosecution teams?
Okay. So right now, dahil ongoing pa yung pre-trial, hindi natin fully madidisclose ang lahat. But ang isang remarkable ay merong proposed stipulations ang both parties. Ito naman po ay inaasahan at nakalagay sa pre-trial brief at inaasahang kakataluhan sa pretrial conference. So, for now, despite na merong disagreement sa kung ano dapat yung proposed stipulations, pinag-submit na lang po ng comment yung both parties as to their proposed stipulations. Yun pa lang po yung alam natin.
Po, hanggang today lang po yung pre-trial conference kasi dun sa nakarating pong schedule sa amin, 18 to 25.
Sa palagay, yes, you want to answer that?
Ganyan lang po.
Sa palagay ko po, based on dun na notice na natanggap po ng House Prosecution Team, hanggang 25 po. So we expect that it will not end today, but we will expect the continuance of the pre-trial conference up to the date which the Honorable Court has set, no? Which is, I guess, kung di ako nagkakamali, is June 25th, no?
So, starting from tomorrow hanggang 25, ang haharap pa rin po doon yung mga public prosecutors?
Well, that ngayon po ay ang nandoon na po sa ongoing din po yung markings nila of exhibits. So ang mga private prosecutor, this is just a ministerial or mechanical lang na trabaho kasi basically ang ipe-present, ma-mark lang naman yung mga ebidensya. And so we would like to learn from of course from the House Prosecution Team if the court requires the attendance of our public prosecutor. Anyway, at the end of the day, ang ating House Prosecution Team, both the private and the public prosecutors, would comply for whatever the directive of the Honorable Court.
Pero ano po ang directive ng public prosecutors sa private prosecutors, if any?
So far ngayon po ay to assist in the marking of evidence. Yun naman din po yung reason kung bakit perhaps hindi po matatapos today yung pre-trial dahil po voluminous yung evidence that is both presented by the prosecution and the defense. So dahil masalimuot yung proseso na yon, nakaantabay at syempre nakatutok yung public prosecutors sa ginagawa ng private prosecutors with the defense team no, na marking of evidences.
Okay po. Kanina po nabanggit po ni Congresswoman Ko na wala pong inilatag na ebidensya ang defense team para po pabulaanan ang existence para pabulaanan yung fictitious Mary Grace Piatos. Tama po ba?
Yung nakikita natin so far ay yun yung general trend sa lahat ng mga allegations, even this one.
Dadagdag ko lang, yung pinaka-ano talaga kumbaga kung titingnan natin yung kanilang pre-trial brief is yung prayer nila for the court to dismiss right away yung impeachment allegation. So why would you ask the impeachment court to dismiss right away, knowing that that is not even a co-option for the Senate sitting an impeachment court? The Vice President is being defended now by one of the most respected law firms in the country, a reputable law firm, and they know for a fact that dismissing outright these charges is not even an option for the Senate. It only goes to say that going back to their appeal, kung meron talagang actual, substantive, specific explanation to counter or to not only deny, but even to supply counter evidence on certain allegations under the articles of impeachment, they would do so. Not to pray to the court to dismiss it outright. Kasi this is the opportunity, going back to their issue na they will answer the allegation at the proper forum. Balikan po natin yon. Hindi po kami ang nagsabi nun. Sila po ang nagsasabi nun that they will only answer these exact allegations at the proper forum. Now is the time. Now is the time. Please present us your evidence. Please present us contravening evidence and explain to the people saan napunta yung pera ginamit sa confidential funds. Bakit yung salin hindi tugma doon sa nakukuha mong income, no? Bakit ano yung explanation mo doon sa pagtatreten sa nakaupong presidente at sa kanyang unang ginang at sa former speaker? So these are the things that the country would always go back to, demand answers to these allegations. Unfortunately, ang kanilang sagot, i-dismiss nyo na lang yan.
Last na lang po, sorry. Meron po bang witness ang prosecution team to corroborate the claims of Ramil Madriaga?
Ay, sige.
Po, meron po bang witness ang prosecution team to corroborate the claims of Ramil Madriaga?
Currently po, Ma'am Rose, we don't preempt what would be the discussion in the pre-trial conference. The reason why it is not open to the media, it's because we also be conscious. We have to also to be conscious about the safety of the potential witnesses. So right now, we cannot we cannot give you a straight answer. This is part of the discussion in the pre-trial conference. We will just wait for the final list of witnesses that would be accepted by the court or would to be presented by the prosecution to the court.
Siguro po, to add na lang din po, because we do not want to preempt the strategy of our public prosecutors, but it is noted that in our pre-trial brief, meron pong corroborating witnesses na maaari pong ma-present. And again, we have reserved the right to present additional witnesses as necessary. Ito rin po ay the same right na in-exercise ng defense team, and it is normal sa isang pre-trial brief and in a pre-trial conference. We will look forward na lang po kung ito po ay exactly as stated yung sa sinabi na purpose, pero for now, we'd like to reserve comment para po hindi mapangunahan yung public prosecutors.
Dahil birthday ng katabi mo, Ma'am Rose, sasabihin ko na lang to sa iyo. Whatever would be the number and the personalities that would be presented as witnesses to corroborate material or testimonial evidence, that would definitely be indispensable to proving to the court that our allegations are correct, not only correct, but can already be proven right.
Salamat, Rose. We now acknowledge Gab Lalo from Philippine Daily Inquirer.
Sir, ma'am, first question lang po, follow up dun sa tanong ni Ate Rose. Do you think the defense team is still seeking dismissal of the case? Considering na parang nag-provide naman sila ng evidence, nag-provide sila ng may mga stipulations, parang they're preparing for a trial din naman.
Well, listen, ladies first.
Sa tingin natin, standing pa rin yung prayer nila, no, which is that they're seeking the dismissal essentially of this case, which again we don't agree with, and we say na wala pong basehan sa rules or sa constitution na valid yung ganong klaseng prayer. And kailangan pong maging mapagmatsyag yung mamamayan sa ganong basa at gusto nating pagiging faithful ng process doon sa Constitution. So, sige, how do we interpret that may submission sila sa pre-trial brief and then may appearance sila sa pre-trial conference, although again, hindi po present si VP Sara Duterte, just her authorized representative, in contrast doon sa kanyang earlier pronouncements that she is ready and willing to appear and even present her evidence in court, the proper court. Ang sa atin, given nga po yung pagbasa natin ng pre-trial brief and then yung arguments in the pre-trial conference ng legal defense team ni VP Sara, they're just going through the motions, which is that may deadline, merong required appearance, hindi pwedeng sabihin na they didn't comply because they're there. But if you look at the substance of the pre-trial brief, again, we look at it and it says that it's just general denials ng mga allegations as provided in the articles of impeachment. Nakalagay din doon, walang independent contravening evidence, yung kanilang side, yung kanilang totoong answer, kumbaga, which would say na makakapagbigay explanation sa taong bayan sa mga tanong natin. So, ano yung gusto nating mangyari therefore moving forward in the trial proper? Kailangan talagang yung mamamayan, tuloy-tuloy yung pagkalampag para sa pananagutan. Because as it stands, it is not being answered in the pre-trial brief. It's not being addressed in the pre-trial conference. So in the trial proper na ilang mga hearing dates yan, kailangan pong malabas pa rin yung sagot.
It's not about complying with the requirement or the directive of the impeachment court, in this case the pre-trial conference, that it would be satisfactory for you to attend and be present for the defense. It's also how you can offer the impeachment court your substantive counter arguments to contravene the evidence presented against your client or against you. Very, very logical. This is the perfect sana opportunity for them to explain to the court and to the public. Please, I mean, it's a form of respect then if they come to the court with all their ammunition ready, meaning to say their arguments ready. For the court to also to have a way of balancing between the allegation, the evidence against those your explanation and your also counter evidence. So in this case, it's not even our observation. It's in their pre-trial brief, praying for the court to dismiss this case, banking on their earlier pronouncement and question, and also opposition to the charges, their claim, their contention, which is basically a procedural objection. We are way past over that stage, and the people does not want to bank on the procedural questions and objection. What the people wants and deserve is for this impeachment court to continue, proceed, and then magkaroon po ng closure. So, I think hindi lang ho natin yun observation, yun po mismo yung napapaloob sa kanilang pre-trial brief ng depensa.
Sir, when you say na parang they're still seeking the dismissal, is it through the Supreme Court? Para bang ang gusto nila ma-forfeit yung ano?
It's when you talk about impeachment proceeding, it's only the Senate has that exclusive power to try and decide. You cannot go anywhere else. There's no appellate court where you can actually review and ask to review the judgment of the impeachment court. It's only the Senate has that sole exclusive jurisdiction to try and decide impeachment proceedings. So, very clear po yan. Hindi po ako abogado, andito po si Kong Rene. She can correct me if I'm wrong, but our interpretation as layman, because this is all for the average-minded people, na ang Senado lang po ang may kapangyarihan at may eksklusibong kapangyarihan para titisin at mag-decide pagdating po sa mga impeachment complaints.
Spock Zia is very correct, no, sa kanyang interpretation. Yung idadagdag ko na lang, and ito po yung nangyari sa Duterte versus House of Representatives, for example, ni-raise ni VP Sara Duterte yung question ng whether or not there was grave abuse of discretion doon sa mga certain acts, well, during that case, no, at the House of Representatives, and possible na kung may hindi po nagustuhan si VP Sara Duterte sa goings on ng trial proper, ay pwede pong iakyat niya sa Korte Suprema para i-contest yung specific acts ng Senate if ever. Pero ayaw po natin mangyari yon dahil gusto po natin na at every step, the Senate and all parties observe due process of law, no, observe the rules and regulations provided in the Constitution tungkol sa paglilitis, no, at pagrespeto ng mga karapatan ng mga partido dito sa impeachment court and trial, at sa punot dulo, ma-exercise po ng Senado yung sole and exclusive authority po nila to try impeachment cases as provided in the Constitution. Yun naman po yung pinanghahawakan natin, kaya challenge po natin continuously, no, yung ating mga government agencies, institutions, including the Senate, na panghawakan yung authority nila provided in the Constitution. And of course, to follow all steps as provided in law so as to avoid that kind of Supreme Court challenge.
For my last question po, kanina po yung sa pre-trial conference, parang merong mga nagsabi po na nagkaroon daw ng konting tension at sagutan between the prosecution and the defense. Si Attorney Michael Powa also sort of confirmed it, pero sinabi niya na hindi naman daw tension kundi parang disagreement on a particular matter. Has the prosecution team confirmed this to you, sir and ma'am?
Well, usual naman po na ata nangyayari yan sa mga pre-trial conference So of course, when you have unang-una first time ito magharapan po ng depensa at saka prosecution. So I think normal naman talaga ho yan yung mga ganyang disagreements, no. That's why you have the pre-trial conference to simplify kung ano yung pwedeng mapag-usapan, anong i-admit, ano yung i-contest ng bawat panig para ang impeachment court ang magde-decide kung ano yung magiging parte sa pag-uusapan sa trial court. So I think what I can tell you that is that both camps, both the prosecution and the defense ventilated their position, and they're decent enough to even if there are disagreements, which is normal, but they're decent enough to proceed further to the process of allowing the impeachment court to discuss about the evidence and the counter evidence by both sides.
Ang gusto ko lang din pong i-emphasize, no, successful yung nangyari today dahil nagsimula na po yung mga processes leading up to the trial proper. So, ito nga yung hinihintay ng marami, yung pre-trial conference. So, ito yung unang harapan ng dalawang partido. That tension, no, dahil iba yung pinanghahawakan yung mga argumento, that is normal. And moving forward, no, tutuloy-tuloy yung proseso ng pre-trial, no, hanggang it concludes, we go to the trial proper, and then tutuloy-tuloy na yan hanggang matapos yung proseso ayon sa prinsipyo ng due process and even yung nakalatag na rules and regulations in the Constitution. So, yung ganyang tension, that's normal, but what we'd like to emphasize is today, we're happy to note and hear that nangyari po yung pre-trial conference.
Ano po yung naging point of contention? Sorry, follow-up lang po. Ano po yung naging point of contention? Bakit nagkaroon ng discussion between the two parties?
So I can't say for ano yung mga iba't iba na mga naging points of contentions, but I bet no maraming points of contentions yan dahil sa pre-trial brief, no, iba yung proposed stipulations ng both parties, iba yung issues nila. So of course, kung haharap na sila doon sa clerk of court na magtatanong o alin dito yung adopt natin, meron po silang arguments na ipuput forth for their versions and not the others. So, normal po yun. In a pre-trial conference, I myself had the opportunity to be able to ventilate in cases that I've handled in the past, no, in pre-trial, na i-defend yung proposed stipulations or issues and yung lists natin as per the pre-trial brief. So, inasahan naman natin yon, and hindi naman po natin nakita na irregular yung ganun.
Let us always remember that the default character of a trial is that both sides do not agree on substantial issues, di ba? Adversarial na sila, conflicting na yung kanilang pinaninindigan at pinipresenta sa korte. So that's just the default character of how regular court proceedings happen. So what is important, sinabi nga ni Kong Rene, is what is important is that the House prosecution team was able to present to the court yung mga gusto nating i-present na base po doon sa mga ebidensya na meron tayo at na we're confident that this evidence will be tackled and will also be open to the public in the actual trial that will happen on July 6. Sana mangyari na. And secondly, what is important is gumugulong na po yung institutional accountability mechanism ng ating konstitusyon. Yun ang pinaka-importante at yun ang dapat na nating tutukan at yun naman talaga yung gustong malaman ng ating taong bayan. Gumugulong na po yung accountability mechanism ng ating konstitusyon.
Thank you, Gab. From Net 25, Eden Santos is now recognized.
Yeah, we belong. Good afternoon po. Clarification lang po, yung pre-trial brief or conference pa lamang po yung nangyari kanina, tama po ba? Pre-trial brief or conference pa lang naman po yung nangyari kanina.
Tama po yun.
So wala pa po talaga yung stage ng bloodbath sa impeachment, tama po ba?
Well, sila naman po yung nagsasabi ng bloodbath na yun eh. Hindi naman po natin yung sinasabi. So, in-expect po natin, since na may bloodbath, ang description, hindi naman talaga dugo. Pero ang understanding po natin doon ay malakas po ang kanilang ebidensya para pabulaanan yung mga ebidensya ng prosecution team. Pero
So,
hindi
yung-
yun ang nakita natin.
So yung pong prayer to dismiss yung impeachment against BP Sara kanina na inilatag po ng defense team ay legal strategy din po yon, tama po ba yon?
Legal strategy, pero alam naman po ng depensa na yung dismissal nung kaso ay hindi po choice or hindi po preference or hindi po option ng Senado ayon sa ligang batas. Na kailangan lang po, the only way to probably you can use dismiss is for the only way to do that is for the court to reach judgment. It's either to acquit or to convict.
So to clarify lang din
Sige
po, yung sinasabing prayer to dismiss, that's found in the answer. So hindi po siya nasa pre-trial brief na sinubmit days earlier or even ventilate at the pre-trial conference. So and again, yung stance natin dyan, kung babasahin yung constitution and yung rules, wala po doong sinasabi na pwedeng may motion to dismiss na gawin. Ang sinasabi lang po, magtutuloy-tuloy ang paglilitis at pagkatapos po, both sides present their sides, magkakaroon ng decision point ang Senado, convict or acquit.
Kanina po nabanggit ni spokesperson Adjong yung hindi pa naman to yung for conviction dahil hindi pa naman po halos nagsisimula yung trial. Kanina po nagsabi si Senate President Sherwin Gatchalian na ang nasa Constitution ay 16 votes pa rin po to convict kung sino man yung accused sa impeachment. Ano po yung inyong
Yun naman
take dito?
yun naman po talaga ang nakasaad doon. Ang House Prosecution Team optimistic at saka confident po ang House Prosecution Team base po sa ebidensya na ilalatag nila sa korte, and that's actually the magic number that the House Prosecution Team would work on to get the 16. Pero meron po kasing debate ngayon may emerging po na school of thought when it comes to appreciating the number required by the Constitution in order for the Senate to be responsive in addressing or in acting on an impeachment complaint where the Senate will be sitting as the judge. Kasi currently po, 22 sa ngayon yung active na po pwedeng lumahok at maging huwes ng mga senador. Dalawa po doon, unfortunately, ay sabi po sa Avellino versus Cuenco jurisprudence ay walang kakayahan ang Senado para pilitin o masecure ang kanilang boto. I think ngayon po may mga ganong legal opinions na lumalabas. But that is not something that the House Prosecution Panel would wish to push, no? Kasi sabi nga ng ating lead prosecutor, she does not entertain making it as a formal request before the impeachment court. These are just legal opinions that are now coming up because of the current situation that the Senate is now facing, no, in terms of the number of active members na po pwedeng lumahok sa paglilitis po sa pangalawang Pangulo.